to see what it look like. Is you alive? Yeah. Let me see something. Oh, you got no refresh. What you doing? That was funny. Okay, boom.
Yes.
Boom. Cue the music up, bro. 2 minutes. Welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo.
We're now rocking with the best. This is the Fire and Ice Podcast. Thought-provoking black lifestyle experience, sports, music, entertainment, current events, everything. You talk about it. When you think about it, we talk about it. What's going on, bro? What's up with you?
We coming live to you from the East Square Cigar Lounge, 3616 Kirkwood Highway, also known as home. And let me start us off by saying hello. How are ya?
Dap your boy up. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Sorry for the hiatus. Well, not really sorry, but you know, it's a hiatus. Everybody deserves a little rest. We're back bringing in the new year as we are home. East Square Cigar Lounge, 3616 Kirkwood Highway. Back where we belong. Bro, first I want to give a shout out to the bros, man. Shout out to the Iceman. Shout out to B Mac.
Iceman beat Mac.
Always here in spirit with us, man. Side by side with the bros, man. It's your boy P. We got fresh gold, man. We got fresh fire with us, bro. Let's start the new year off right, man.
Hello.
What's got you on fire, man?
You know what's crazy? What's got me on fire? This, and you have to say it's actually. I'm scrolling down my timeline, and I see a lot of New Year's resolutions, but I also see just as much, if not more, negativity towards people's New Year's resolutions. Hey, look, y'all, we got to understand that talking to people in a certain type of manner just doesn't help. It doesn't help. It doesn't help people grow. It doesn't help people succeed. It doesn't help people get to their goal. You know, I see you're going to Planet Fitness, but you're only going to be there for the first 2 weeks. Come on, man. So what? They only going to be there for the first 2 weeks. Let them get that off. You know what? They may make it to 3 without your negative comments, man. So, yo, man, keep the hate and the bullshit to yourself, man. That makes no sense to me, man. So what, man? It's because like the thing I don't understand is when people say New Year's resolutions, that's one more chance for you to do the right thing. All right, cool. Take a shot, man. Throw your hat in the ring. Go ahead, man. I'm for me myself personally. I'm for you. whoever I may know personally, or how further our distance is between us. I'm for you. I want us all to win. Even if you don't win, it wasn't like, oh, you was gonna lose. Nah, man, I ain't come here for that. You shouldn't be here for that, man. A lot of us gonna lose.
You lose all the battles you don't start.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And talking to people like that, they like, man, that don't help me start or at least sustain. Yeah, man, this is buzzkill. That's hate, man. Get the hate out your blood, man. So what? People out here doing stuff and
downers.
Yeah, man, come on, man. We past that now, man. So what, man? People out here stopping and not committing. But it doesn't help when you talk about, I knew you was gonna quit, or what you gonna do that for? You ain't gonna keep that long. That don't help, man. All that hate, man. Get that hate out your blood, man. So what? People stop and do whatever, man. They don't need to hear that from you though either. I mean that, man, from the heart. From the heart. I mean that. Stop talking to people all crazy, man.
That's from the heart, bro.
It's from the heart, man. It's from the heart, man. Stop talking to people all crazy. I'm going to say something and I'm going to leave it there. And it really came from a post. I stole it from somewhere, and they was like, you know that plants and trees grow and do better when you talk positive to them. So just imagine what a human can do with positive reinforcement.
Walk off home run, bro. Barry Bonds. Walk off home run for the brother, man. But listen, man, with the holidays that just passed us, man, holidays is a lot different for adults than it was when you were kids. You know what I'm saying? A lot different. A whole lot different. I remember as a child, man, that was no other day you look forward to other than your birthday and Christmas. Because you knew you were getting something. You knew you were getting something. Not only did you know you was getting something, you knew you was getting something special. As long as you did your due diligence throughout the year and you did your due diligence in school, it was an obligation as a parent, man. Break me off, Mom. You know what I mean? Give me me right now.
Right.
Give me me.
I'm not in jail.
Right.
I didn't come home with any illegitimate children.
Right.
I didn't rob no liquor stores, banks, or check cashing places.
A little different nowadays as an adult, because now the responsibility change where I'm looked upon to be that provider and assess everybody's year, and you know what I mean?
Let me see you like this, brother.
What did you get for Christmas, bro? Did you have a good Christmas?
Actually, I did.
Did you get anything that you actually wanted, or was you looking forward to something?
Well, that's a tricky question to answer.
As a grown adult male now, with multiple children, describe your Christmas.
Oh, my Christmas was love. They actually knew or fed into my drinking addiction and bought me a margarita mixer. So that, oh man, at last we can share everything. So
jackpot, bingo.
Yeah, and I got a assorted clothing. But when you get older, some of the best, if not the best presents are dead presidents. There was a lot of cash involved with Christmas, so I can honestly say I was very good with what I got. But to also answer, you say this was a year, and it hasn't been many, but I was kind of not saying expecting something, but I would have been like to been asked about this certain thing.
Okay.
This year.
Do you put that bid in early in terms of saying, yo, man, I really want this? I really want this.
Now, this year, I didn't really put the bid in. But if I put the bid in, I'll definitely get exactly what I want. But it's few and far between. I say, I want this. Okay. Just because I'm a easy guy like that. It's not, it don't take much to entertain me. So, but there is something I'm still looking for.
Okay.
Not saying that it may not come from me, but
do you just go get it yourself, or are you still waiting?
These days I go get it myself.
Okay.
especially with how
It's still just as gratifying.
Yeah, it is just as gratifying. But I also say that there's a precedent set with, like you said, putting my bed in earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was something I was looking forward to, but I also understand I didn't really put the proper gusto behind that. You know, so it coming from wifey and children, I can understand why it didn't come. Like, I didn't put the proper gusto there, but
yeah, it's got a different meaning, man. And I think as men, man, sometimes we get the raw end of the deal when it comes to the Christmas gifts, man, because, you know, is it a bad thing that now I've learned to appreciate that pack of socks or that pack of wife beaters?
You got me on socks. You said, Brandon, man, your feet feel so good when you put on a brand new pair of socks.
Dude, bro, listen, that pack of boxers is coveted now. Yeah. Yo, that fresh shower, man, you put on. There's nothing like putting on a fresh t-shirt, a fresh pair of boxers, and a fresh pair of socks. You feel like Tom Cruise on Risky Business.
Doom.
You want to slide across the floor, man, and you know what I mean? I know for me it is.
I know for me it is too. Just popping tags on like a hoodie or some sneaks or jeans or something. It don't got this, to me, it don't got the same gusto as some socks or some boxers. Really boxers for me, but bro turned me on to the socks. I'm like putting on a brand new pair of socks. Holy smokes, man. Your feet feel like clouds underneath them for that one day. One day.
It's like new car smell. For that little time your car smell like it's brand new, you like, man, I could sleep in here. It feels epic. It feels like heaven. I could sleep in this joint. That fresh pair of socks, you don't want to walk on nothing. What? You want to make sure you stay on the carpet. You don't want to walk on the hardwood floor. You damn sure don't want to walk in the wet spot in the kitchen.
What? Oh, oh man, that's gonna wreck your whole night.
It's gonna fuck your whole content pour up.
Your whole content pour.
It's gonna miss your whole content pour up.
Thrown out the window.
Everything. Everything goes to once you step in that wet spot in the kitchen. Now I got an ice maker, and my son has this habit of always pulling his glass out early, and one ice cube falls on the floor, and it melts. And I always walk into the wet spot on the kitchen, man, like clockwork. And I want to kill him. I know I'm not the only one.
So let me ask you, did you get everything you wanted for the holidays?
I don't really want for nothing, so anything I got is like icing on the cake, man. Like I said, I got some assorted cigar accessories, and drink accessories, and of course my usual team apparel, which I always welcome. You know what I mean? So it's all a bonus for me. It's all a bonus.
But shout out Jab Pin, shout out June. Hey June. Shout out my Pender. Shout out nephew Lonnie. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you know, you might at this age, it's not a lot that I want for. Right. It's not, you know, so me not getting what I wanted, I'm like, I ain't really worried about that. It's not much I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Somebody cooking this today? All right, cool. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right.
Right.
We're going to be all right.
So since you said, something that's got you on fire, man. Any New Year's resolutions, bro?
Well, yeah. I've had a New Year's resolution, and I've been sticking to it. Myself, I'm a person who still smokes cigarettes, but I said, you know what? I at least want to cut back on my cigarettes. So I don't buy them like I used to. And I'm like, look, let me put one or two in my pocket, you know, just something good. But other than that, I'm straight. Because now, man, you know, I'm home. I got to pick my tobaccos. I can't be smoking cigarettes and cigars. So I got to pick my tobacco. So actually, I'm like, look, you know what? Let me get off the cigarettes. So let me just wean myself off of them. And I've been sticking to that. no more than 2 cigarettes a day. No more than that. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't got no more, I just don't have any more. But I gotta have my stick though. I gotta have my stick.
Of course, mine every single year, man, is get my ass back in the gym because I tend to fall into this Groundhog's Day trap of
do that shit, bro.
Getting in phenomenal shape between now and May, and then summer hits, and I don't know, man. It's a perpetual Groundhog's Day for me, man. I know my faults. I know me.
I still remember that dog chasing you.
So you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. But switching gears, bro. We haven't been here in 2 weeks, so there's a proverbial elephant in the room. We're gonna beat the dead horse. We're gonna talk about it. The big homie, everybody's favorite, the Chicken Man said nobody can stand on stage now. I know y'all have talked about it. I know you've beaten it to death. We haven't talked about it, however, so it's not official.
Right.
So with that being said, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, being a person that's been in a versus battle against, a respected person that I know knows his catalog. He ain't lying. Win, lose, draw. I'm pretty sure he will not hold any bullets back, no missiles, no H-bombs, any of that. He's going to come with the shit. And if we're going to 20, like a versus, or even less, he can stand on stage with anyone.
I think 20 handicaps him. The big dog. 20 songs handicaps them, to be honest with you. That's always my thought. Kind of handicaps them because these guys have, and let's make a distinction because the way that the verses have morphed, it's no longer just your hits. Because if we're talking just hits, we got guys performing freestyles, literally like unreleased freestyles where, wait a minute, what's that? That dude just wrote that. So that's not a hit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you factor that in, not to mention you got guys that got crazy verses on other people's records that weren't hits, but they're cult classic or crowd favorites.
True. Body in the trunk.
So I had the privilege the other night, man. Shout out to the Concert Crew podcast, man.
Shout out Concert Crew.
Check that podcast out, man. God, you brothers is real deal. Plus, man, you brothers is from my hood.
They know their shit. They know their shit.
Thoroughly know their shit.
Entertaining.
They actually played that out on wax, to be honest with you. They played it out. However, they did not go with the proverbial 20 songs. They went 50 songs. J versus 9. Shout out to Carl and Sunday 215. You guys went 50 songs. It was literally about 2.5, 3 hours. Hey, uninterrupted. They went in, man. They went in. Now, I will say, it kind of proved my point because when you're that big of an artist, your catalog is so huge that 20 songs really don't do you justice.
Right.
It doesn't do you any
justice. I can go toe to toe, blow for blow.
Facts. So when you're talking about dudes like Busta Rhymes and Nas and LL, like every one of those guys, they got 20 songs. Okay. People seem to think that when they say, man, the catalog is too big. Well, unfortunately, having a big catalog actually hinders you because you're not going to get to a lot of that shit in your catalog if you're only going 20 songs. Now, you'll have some pundits that say, no, they get off like 30. Okay, well, 30. You still leaving about 20 bangers on the table. So unless you go into 50 and you make it a war of attrition, having that big catalog is a hindrance because you're going to have everybody walking away saying, oh, man, he didn't play that. I witnessed it myself the other night. It
ain't as easy as you think it is.
Now, it wasn't as hard to go over a versus with Jay with a guy with the catalog of Nas. It wasn't hard at all. Now, I'll say that his bag is probably deeper with more popular records.
True.
Because what did happen was certain artists, you got to be a little bit more judicious with your song selection when you get to like 35 and 40 and 45. You got to be a little bit more judicious in terms of what you play. Whereas, Jay Jay and Kanye, they're still ripping off monster records. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that it can't happen, because you may play a beloved freestyle,
right,
that can equal one of their hit records, because the crowd may take to that freestyle more. So on paper, yes, it seems difficult, but when you actually play it out, it's organic. You never know. Once again, shout out to the concert crew, man. They pulled it off.
Shout, yeah.
It was epic, man. I loved it, man. It was epic. If you missed it on IG, man, it was on IG Sunday night, man. It was epic. I loved it. I tuned in for every minute of it, man. Shout out to Sunday 215. He represented Nas. Carl represented Jay-Z. It was close in the beginning, you know, but Sunday 215 played some questionable cuts, and Carl pulled away a little bit. But that's not to say, because I think Sunday 215, he missed a lot of monumental Nas records that, you know, would have resonated a lot better. You know what I'm saying? He played a lot of personal favorites, which in this sort of battle may not go over well.
True. I can definitely understand that, where Nas' bag is so big and Jay-Z's bag is so big, where people can get into some stuff where it may bang a little bit heavier in their heads.
Yeah.
You know, the selection at the time.
Because you got freestyles, you got features, you got you got heavy records. Then them dudes, we had the compilation albums,
you know,
and duet albums.
We have whole albums with other people.
Like Nas got a Distant Relatives album that a lot of people may not even be into. Some reggae album that dudes might not be into. But depending on the audience, some of them songs might resonate. But
now I got two questions for you. This came up. Does Nas get credit for the whole QB album? And for the people out there,
remember what Jadakiss said. Remember Jadakiss said, "I'm on it. If I'm on it,
Jason, that answers that.
I'm on it."
Who the people out there like to see in the verses?
Think about this. Jadakiss was the guy that really changed the rules and changed the game, because not only did he make that statement, "I'm on it," he actually made another statement, "I wrote it." And this guy actually got on stage and performed a impromptu freestyle that nobody heard and captivated the crowd. So you got that factor too. And Big Daddy and KRS-One did the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, Big Daddy was prepared to go multiple rounds with the freestyle, because of course his catalog wasn't as deep as KRS-One. KRS-One saw the pitch coming and kind of switched it up. It was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that."
He said, "Time
Nah,
out,
we're not
time
doing
out."
that. We're not doing that. So understand that while you may feel as though dude might got more heavier records, it's what the crowd may feel. Because Big Daddy certainly only has, quote unquote, maybe an album and a half worth of joints. But on that stage that night,
he was doing his thing. And it was a lot of curveballs, a lot of screwballs. Actually, you know, with some of the backstory, there were a significant amount of screwballs thrown and different things. But that was a battle that really opened my eyes to, if we battling.
Yeah, any given night.
We're battling.
Yeah, any given night.
Damn those rules.
Yeah, any given night.
Protocol out the window. We're battling.
And then you bringing people on stage, but you selling your record even more. Like, it's a lot of theatrics that go on with that.
Shout out to Cool DJ Red Alert. I thought that may have been the biggest motherfucking super flex that I've seen throughout the verses. You actually brought out, he's on the original from 30 some almost 40 years ago, and then you brought him out on stage. I thought that was a super flex.
And keep in mind, you got some of these records, man, like, all right. Now,
and that's
depending on who you ask, let's say Jay brings out Beyonce for a record. Now, everybody loves Beyonce.
That's going to kill.
What if Lauryn Hill shows up?
That's going to kill.
Now, it's like you got to think about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You got things like that you got to factor in, man. Like, you don't know what can happen in this thing. This thing is organic. Like, you don't know. But to say that, I know what he meant. I know he meant to say nobody can beat me. But the statement "stand on stage" is ludicrous. I just don't think that that's the case. because even a lot of people may hate me for saying this, but yeah, Lil Wayne can stand on that stage with Jay.
He was one of the first people I thought about.
Absolutely,
one of the first people I thought about.
Lil Wayne, people forget. Lil Wayne has a whole era before he even became a hot rapper. That whole Cash Money era, he has hits from that. Remember, he's the course on Bling Bling.
Every time I come around, 50 bling bling.
The block is hot. Drop it like it's hot. I need a Hydra. Now, like, you may not like that song, but if the battle takes place in New Orleans or Tennessee or Memphis, that record blows the roof off the building.
Interspace. Wobbly wobble, wobbly wobble.
Come on now. Now what if hold on. Because I know y'all love Ignorant Shit by Jay-Z. But what if Wayne plays his version of Ignorant Shit with Drake? What if Wayne goes off with his freestyle of Jay-Z's not Encore, what's the joint? Not Encore, but what's the Eddie Up song? Not Eddie Up, but the other song with Jay-Z's got a record that Lil Wayne freestyled on. That's a classic joint. Show me what you got.
Yes.
Which is actually better than Jay-Z. Yes. What you got? His freestyle.
Yes.
Think about those. That
was part of his second wave.
Think about those curveballs. All
right.
20 songs. That's really not a lot of songs, bro. It's really not a lot of songs. I know y'all really think Jay-Z can't be beaten, which in a lot of cases he probably can't be beaten. But I'm telling you now, it's a couple of guys that can stand on that stage. Matter of fact, it's more than a couple. Guys. For 20 songs, yeah, it can happen.
Go get you an LL Cool J.
It can happen.
Who people always underrate.
People laughed at me when I said Busta Rhymes.
What? All right. He gonna be turning that stage out.
Listen. You gotta realize there's a performance aspect to this thing.
Yeah.
Now, if the rules say 50 songs, yeah, I definitely got mine. And I'm not a gambler, man. I got my money on Jay. But 20 songs, anybody can be beat with 20 songs at that level.
And the performance in it, and look.
At that particular, listen, let's say they hold that at Madison Square Garden. I'm just saying.
I'll put it to you like this. It's chaos. Well, it's two.
This battle's not going to be one on paper.
It's two pivotal moments I've seen in the verses. Jadakiss and KRS One. And those two people let me know, man, if we battling. I don't think y'all understand about this hip hop thing. Fuck your rules. Throw all the protocol out the window. What's the rules? All right, cool, no problem. I'm going to play right up to the gate on the rules. What's the playlist? Oh, the playlist is out the window. We're battling. So with that being said, everything that my name has ever been on is in the mix.
Absolutely.
It's in the mix. In the fucking mix, man. It's in the mix. So if I wrote it, executive produced it, featured on it, ad-libbed on it, anything, I'm shooting it at you.
Kiss really threw a monkey wrench in the game, man. When I knew it was different when Bull got on stage and bust out an impromptu, never heard before freestyle. And I said, wow, that's an undocumented. It's an undocumented song that in the moment pretty much won the round.
And people was feeling it. And I was like, well, I'm still going off the old versus rules. Like, I'm not sure if that was a bigger jam than like Dick said. So I
play my record and you come off the head with a freestyle.
Not saying you ain't fly, not saying you ain't the shit. But people said, nah, it's in the moment, fresh. You know, cool. What? You right. Then when KR said, fuck them rules. Oh, okay. This is hip hop. This is hip hop. And what I know about hip hop, you bring your guns and you have a secret weapon.
And Fat Joe tried to pull every weapon out of his pocket when he battled Ja Rule.
Good brother Mark.
He pulled everything out of his pocket, man. Once again, man, shout out to the Concert Crew podcast, man. I love the battle, man. I appreciate sitting in on that thing, man. It was epic. I thought it lived up to the expectation. I thought it lived up to every expectation. Shout out to Freaks. Freaks, I did listen to y'all review of Magic, and we got a beef because you got a problem with King's disease too. So we got to talk about that. So you owe me a discussion regarding that.
I feel some type of way.
Yeah, I feel some kind of way about that. You owe me a discussion regarding that.
Period,
so
man,
Freaks, we got to bust it up on that. All right, we got to bust it up. So if anybody see Freaks, tell them I'm looking for him. We got to bust it up on that King's disease too. We got a discussion about that.
What's up, B Store? What's up, Danny Rich? What's up, Jakia? What's up, Ron Fisher? What's up, Slick Rick Water? What's up, Dancini? What's up, Monet Light Right?
Anybody?
What's up, Markel?
Let me ask you a question, bro. Did you see
Kid Cudi? I see you, baby. I see you.
Did you see Spider-Man Far From No Way Home?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So as a non-partial individual, what was your thoughts on it?
I'm not gonna lie. You and my son are like the major factors why I jumped back into the action here of
comic
genre. And I've been watching, and this last one, Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, I haven't seen them all, so I don't know what to compare this against. But that was a damn good movie, man. A damn good movie. And I was sitting next to two comic aficionados, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in between, well, not next to right next to someone I didn't know who really knew his shit. And then I had my wife and then my son who really knows his shit. And at certain points in the movie, they would sit up like, oh shit. And I was like, yo, what's happening? And just a standalone movie by itself, I was like, yo, I give it an A. A movie that somebody who's jumping back into, you know, as a superhero movie. Hey, as a movie that people is like, this is one of the greatest superhero movies ever. I'm like, you ain't gotta argue me down. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta argue me down off that tree. You know what I'm saying? Very hard. I'm like, yo, that was a pretty damn good movie, man. I can't front. And I'm not that big of a superhero guy.
Well, I am.
Proceed.
I am. And I will say this. As far as Marvel goes, there are at least 20-some movies deep. And, you know, you factor in the TV shows and series. You're talking about, I'm going to say a good 30 to 35 projects, period. That one was extremely ambitious, and they pulled it off.
Yeah.
The adage is true, man. If you give the fans what you want, you can print money. And that's what happened. They gave the fans. That was a love letter to all of the Spider-Man movie aficionados. It was a love letter, man. To see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in that movie, along with Tom Holland, tying everything together was. I mean, it was a beautiful thing, man. It was a beautiful thing, and for it to work, it worked. It worked 100%.
Not to cut you off, but when Tobey Maguire jumped through, spoiler alert, when he jumped through his dimension.
If you haven't seen it by now, man,
the people,
that's on you.
The guys sitting next to me and my son were on the edge of their seats, and
that was two of the biggest.
Not only was the movie great, people's reaction to the movie, I was like, wow, this shit really means something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Not only is it a very fucking good movie, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this really means some shit to some people.
Yeah, absolutely. This is your childhood, this is your adulthood, because let's remember that since 2008, I'm going to say the advent of the shared universe started in 2008 with Iron Man. But I mean, these movies have been around for a long time. I mean, this is not the first set of movies we got. But
I'm glad somebody could wrap it around for some other people to, really get into it.
The quote unquote shared universe where everything is connected. You're talking, since 2008, which is a long period of time, 12, 13 years going on now. And there's no signs of slowing up. So yeah, it was big for people, man. Big because you got some people that when those movies came out, the Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, some people might have been in their teens.
True.
Some people might have been in their teens, bro. Some people might have been in elementary school. I know when we started watching the movies, man, my son was literally 5 years old when we started watching the movies.
Young Tykes.
Yeah, he was 5 years old when we started this. When we started the journey. So it is big. To echo your sentiment, it is big. These are big movies, man, because it's like they with that movie, it kind of brought everything full circle, man. And it was like it was a satisfying moment to see it play out that way. The cinematography, it didn't have Willem Dafoe reprise his role at 60-some years old and outdo his performance from 15, 20 years ago. It was epic.
I wasn't made it, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not up on Thor, I'm not up on Iron Man, and I just really started back. I said, I got to start back. But one person I did kind of follow was Spider-Man. But my favorite villain was Green Goblin. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with all the villains, but Green Goblin was my.
And for those that don't know, of course, Spider-Man is the Marvel equivalent to Superman in popularity. But Marvel never had actual Marvel entity did not own the rights to it. So, there was a lot of hiccups in the early 2000s in terms of, Marvel being able to do the movies.
Good brother, can I get another Yingling when you get the chance? Thank you.
So, with that being said, this was an epic movie, man. It was epic in terms of the visuals, the sentiment, the storyline. It all went together, man. They pulled it off. Great movie. Incredible movie, in my opinion. And I'm not going to say I'm harsh because I'm going to watch them all regardless. But
it's going to be hard to top that shit.
Even knowing kind of what was going to happen and what was leaked, it still didn't trump actually seeing it.
Right. Knowing what was coming still didn't beat seeing that shit in person.
When you saw it, it was like, whoa. Like you said, seeing those characters come out of the portals, man, and the reaction in the theater, man, was unforgettable because, like you said, it does mean something to a lot of people, man. And it means a lot.
And that's one thing I was like, okay, well, I may not have been first to the party or even second or third, but I don't like to be left out of the party. And I'm like, damn, this superhero shit, not saying superhero shit, but I'm saying it's really picking up steam. And, actually as someone trying to find ways to connect with my son, I'm like, you know what, this ain't a bad way to connect. So we can watch, because he turned me on to the multiverse, Miles Morales, and I'm like, he's actually my favorite Spider-Man, Miles Morales. The dude sitting next to me, oh my God, you gotta bring on Miles Morales. It was that real. And that's when I'm like, you know what? I no longer want to be late to the party. I'm in the party now. Now I'm like, okay, I'm in the party.
Sit down, bro, have a drink.
But I'm like, I no longer want to be late to the party. I'm watching all the superhero shit as it comes out. And going forward, I got my eye on all. I think that's what I love the most. The Easter egg. I mean, what they call them, the Easter eggs. I love that shit the most. I asked 27 questions. Oh, did you see that? Does that mean something?
Everything means.
You sure that don't mean something? All right.
In Marvel, everything means something. There is no anything that's just circumstance or coincidence. Everything always means something. It's hard to catch them in real time. But yeah, everything does mean something. License plates, everything. License plates, pay
shout out
homage
to Squid Games, who had a mean motherfucking Easter egg. You didn't know all the games was all on the fucking walls. But as they take down, I was like, damn, that caught me. So I love that kind of shit. I love that kind of shit.
All the games were love it. If you knew that, if you knew that and you caught that in real time, your powers of observation is incredible. I didn't catch
that either.
Didn't catch
but that's what I'm saying.
All the games were definitely on the wall.
Now, is that something that you look forward to as a comic book aficionado level? Okay, got it.
Yes, because I've learned that even license plates in movies, especially in Spider-Man movies, are pretty big. They pay their Easter eggs to classic Spider-Man comics.
What kind of fucked me up was they actually said I actually found out what Stan Lee's role was in all his cameos, and I didn't know it until the Eternals just came out. Oh, he was an Eternal.
That's a theory. That's a theory that he was.
That's proven.
He was a watcher.
He was a watcher.
That was a theory. But it was also kind of tongue in cheek because it was a way for Stan, as the early creator and writer, of Marvel, to also partake in what many consider his baby. So it was a lot of tongue in cheek references and appearances. That's what a lot of them were. So shout out to now, mind you, this was more of a Sony project than a Marvel Cinematic Universe or Marvel Studios project. Marvel lended a hand, but this was mainly Sony. But if you give the fans what you want, you can print the money. Period. That's just how it goes. Give the fans what they want, you just print the money. Because you can tell me what you're going to put in the movie, and it doesn't matter because until it jumps off the screen, I don't really care what you say. Seeing it jump off that screen is the chill factor, the hair raising factor for me.
You still got to make it pop.
Yeah, you got to make it pop. You got to make it pop.
You got to still got to make it pop.
Got to make it pop.
And they need more than pop.
Make it pop. Period. Switching gears, man. Let's get to this sports, man. A lot going on, man.
Penny, 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 penny.
Is AB crazy, bro?
Is AB crazy?
Is he loco?
Is he loco?
Is he crazy, man?
Antonio Brown may have, and you ain't got to argue me down off a tree, but he may have significant CTE.
He was at a basketball game last night.
Yeah. He may have
unbothered.
Yeah, he may have significant CTE.
Or is he just, or is AP just that guy that has done what we've all wanted to do? Take their headset off or your uniform off at work, slam that motherfucker down, and walk off the scene.
I've known people who've done that and still haven't done it in grander fashion or on grander stage as Antonio
This
Brown.
man did it in front of a stadium of thousands.
Stadium of thousands, audience of hundreds of millions.
And essentially gave the double bird.
See you.
Now, mind you, the ironic part is he didn't go in the game because he felt he was injured. But that sprint looked pretty healthy to me when he ran across the end zone.
I want to, you know what? What kind of fucks me up about the situation is that we're halfway through the game and we have a player in full fucking uniform. Hey, man. Can you go out there for a player too? Nah, my ankle fucked up. Hold up, cousin. Why the hell are you standing on the sideline fully clad, uniformly clad? And second of all, if you're cleared by our team doctors, shady or not, why are you even issued a uniform? So you telling me you don't have one play in you? And Cyril Gray is out here practice squadding it. Cyril Grayson, excuse me. I didn't practice squadding it. Hey, man, you got to get stronger, this and that. He does that and you don't?
Yes. The answer to that question is yes.
Yo.
And I got bonuses on the line.
At first, I thought it was mainly just a mental health issue. But then when I heard some very credible sources say, nah, What we heard was he thought he was not healthy enough to play.
Right.
They asked him numerous occasions, hey man, usual protocol is, I'm assuming they said this, you know what I'm saying, but this may be with or without, you know. But hey man, usual uniform protocol is if you have a uniform on, which he throw half this shit in the stands.
Well, I mean, the pads in the jersey, he sat that under the bench. He pulled that off.
No, he threw it.
No, it was under the bench. I saw it. He
threw it and they placed it under the bench.
Oh, okay. Well, it ended up under the bench. It did end up under the bench.
Yeah.
But the other paraphernalia was flung into the 15 row.
And to your point, hold on, cousin, how injured are you? And second of all, can we just get whatever you have? We would love to have you skipping across the field, just like you skip and giving people the double bird.
No, I am not.
For some reason, some people seem to think that's okay.
No, I'm not going in.
No, I'm not going in.
Shout out to Bruce Arians, though, who said, okay, well, if you're not going in, you're no longer part of this team.
Midstream.
Yeah.
Midstream. I've never seen, it may have happened, but I've never seen that before. And underneath those circumstances.
That's the equivalent of clean out your desk now.
Underneath those circumstances.
If clean out your desk was a person.
Bruh, I almost made a meme of that. If clean out your desk right goddamn now was a person, that would be him with the double burger and his shirt on.
Yeah. Not 2 weeks. Hey, I'm putting my 2 weeks notice.
Right goddamn now.
Nah, you can leave now.
Turn your badge in.
Yeah.
Your benefits are cut off effective immediately.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And someone said, okay, well, the moment may have triggered a mental health issue. I said, that may be fair. Okay, now we have to assume that he has a significant amount of CTE.
Because that's the scuttlebutt, you know.
That's the scuttlebutt. And you got to argue me down real heavy for that. But what I will say is, he ain't the only one with significant CTE. But he is the only one I've seen react like this to routine situations at his workplace. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think you could understand. That is, you don't have CTE, so I don't think you can understand that.
I don't understand. He was having mental. Hold on. I would assume all the hits he took, some other 13-year veteran is taking as well. But he's the only one I've seen react and act in that manner. Such an unprofessional manner.
Jad, you're absolutely right. But it's puzzling. So which one was it? I don't know. Was he hurt? Because he played the whole fake vaccination card thing, which caused him, to miss a couple games. So that affected him getting his bonus there. You figure you got 2 more games, you can get it, which makes it even more puzzling.
Hold on. They're asking you to go in the game. One of the residual benefits is you have more chances to reach those set incentives.
Especially with Chris Godwin hurt now. You figure you're going to get more targets and more opportunities. So it's just puzzling, man. Maybe we get more that comes out. I'm pretty sure he'll say something. I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure he'll say something. But until then,
but it might not make no goddamn sense.
Yeah. Nothing he's done to this, not even that blonde mustache made any sense. So, I don't expect anything to make sense.
Nigga look like Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes and Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I don't expect anything to make sense with that guy. National championship game, college football, Georgia versus Alabama. Quick hitter, who you got?
Alabama. They've had the right stuff for the right amount of time.
The right stuff, though.
For the right reasons. And what I'll say is Alabama is still a cut above everyone else. Georgia, for this year, may be at the top of everyone else, but they've never been enough for Alabama.
I think it's ironic, that Georgia's having this landmark year and they play the SEC championship in Georgia and get handled. That speaks volumes more than anything to me.
I was in transit and I said, oh my God, I can't get to my guy or to a place fast enough to put all my money on Alabama.
No-brainer?
It was a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer?
To me, I'm like, they can't beat Alabama. I said, they can dominate everybody else just on defense alone, athleticism, all that kind of stuff. Except an Alabama team. Alabama only beats themselves.
They don't do that very much. Unless you take their players, take some of them guys off the bench mid-game and change them into your uniform, that's not going to happen.
And one thing I've noticed about the Georgia Bulldogs is they will have a dominant defense. The offense will leave you something to be desired. So when you're playing a team such the caliber of Alabama, 15 points
is not going to be
enough.
Never enough.
On a bad day, Alabama giving you 24.
It's never enough.
So
something's off. They give you 24 points in a big game. Something's off.
They have athletes that match up with athletes on your team, but they've consistently shown through the years. Okay, I'm a predominantly run coach. No problem. I'll turn into a predominantly passing coach. Nick Saban. Georgia
turned into Eric Coryell over the past 3-4 years.
Georgia, for all the athletes, for all the 5-star recruits they garner, they have never gotten to a point where, yes, our offense has evolved enough that we can score 20-some-odd points every time we play an elite team.
In a quarter. Alabama's scoring 20 on you in a quarter or in successive drives. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I hope for a good game. I hope for a good game, but it's Alabama, so it's like I've seen this sort of thing before when a college team goes on this kind of run. Alabama in the route. Got Alabama.
I ain't even gonna say in the route. I got Alabama though. And I'm pretty sure the spread ain't that big, so I could probably take Alabama with the spread.
Yeah, I got Alabama in the route.
But I do not see Georgia scoring no more than their best night, 20-something points. Which on Alabama's worst day is not enough.
Let's switch gears, bro. Let's get to some NBA action.
Ooh, shout out Kyrie.
My boy is back tomorrow, baby. He is back, Mr. Unvaccinated himself. I know a lot of y'all probably hate it. But I do want to make one thing clear. My guy has never at any point said he did not want to play.
No.
Cannot with won't. Don't get the two confused. He cannot play because his team is in a state that has a state mandate regarding vaccinations. Ben Simmons won't play.
Big difference. Big fucking difference.
Stephen A. goes on a rant about my man, in terms of making it sound.
I thought that was fucked up.
Kind of making it sound like he don't want to play. No, what it is basketball don't run that man life. We're not even talking vaccinations. That man is 100% in favor of mental health and mental wealth. And yes, if something comes up, he does not put basketball before his life circumstances. He just doesn't. He just simply doesn't. But with that being said, he never said he was not going to play. He just can't play.
Yeah, he said it was hard for him.
If he played in Milwaukee, you would have been so. Because Milwaukee doesn't have a mandate.
True.
Milwaukee does not have a mandate.
He just would have went through the protocol.
Because, now mind you, there are guys that have faked vaccination papers, said they were vaccinated and weren't.
A-Rod.
He was just extremely upfront.
Antonio
Said,
Brown.
I am not. I'm not going to be vaccinated.
And New York and the Nets said we don't want a part-time player until a couple weeks ago.
That was their decision. That was their decision, which I think was influenced a lot too by the media because they didn't want to be looked at as an organization that's calling a player. But they got to understand that you can't make that guy. Even though, of course, I want him to get a shot. You can't make him get a shot. You just can't. You can't make him.
I'm not even going to try to make you get a shot. I'm shot with the booster. I'm 2 shots with the booster. I'm not going to, even though I will advocate. But hold tight. Your decision is your decision.
Their stance was, okay, well, we don't want a part-time player.
Right.
So if it's anybody that should take the heat, it would be the Nets because he never said he wouldn't play. He just said he wouldn't get vaccinated, which meant that he cannot play any home games. Unfortunate situation because you are the Brooklyn Nets. You play in New York where there's a state mandate.
Exactly.
But he's back, baby.
I thought he would have been back playing by Christmas, but he announced it by Christmas, and I was like, yeah. I was right.
Same difference.
Same difference. I was right. I might even pull that back up. But I was like, yo, Uncle Drew, even though he plays on a nemesis to my team, I love to watch Uncle play.
I honestly don't think the Nets did the wrong thing here. Hey, look, man, he's our basketball player who's under contract.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that the Nets pulled this off because they need more help for the championship? Or do you think they were just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get what we can.
This is what I think. I think certain events transpire with players doing a fake vaccination and guys faking like, yeah, I'm vaccinated. It didn't turn out not to be. And then you look back and you say, well, damn, what he did wasn't all that wrong.
Compared to.
We took this hard line stance on a guy that, for all intent and purposes, and mind you, this is a guy who wasn't showing up in interviews without his mask. He was masked up.
Right. He was the one really taking this. He's like, nah, I'm not showing up to your facility. If you say I got to be masked.
Y'all laughed at him when he did the interview from his living room, but he wasn't putting nobody in danger. He clearly was unvaccinated. He said, you know what? I'm taking this thing serious. That's just me personally. I think that had a lot to do with it too. The fact that you had so many guys that pulled the flim-flam, and he was the one guy since the beginning that was honest about the situation and took the punishment in terms of what it was.
Aaron Rodgers, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not mad at the Nets, but I can also say, hey, man, a player of Kyrie's caliber, we could use him on the road. You know what I'm saying? If it's just the road, put it like this. If we go into a place like Detroit, we could probably rest a James Harden and have him play. And still, we got Kyrie and KD. Okay, cool. Hey, James Harden, you need a break? We breaking into Detroit.
Which he's still trying. I can't even put my finger on it. I don't know what's going on with James, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
MVP candidates, where are you at? Give me your top 3 right now. Off the ball. Boom, go. Go. Giannis.
No. Before Giannis, Steph Curry. Before Giannis, the chef.
The chef.
And
then Giannis.
Give me. I got 3 and 3A. Jokic and Embiid.
Okay. So how do you feel about DeMar DeRozan?
He's probably 5th. Probably 5th because and actually he probably has the best chance to win MVP and to shoot up my charts.
Now, I don't think he'll win MVP because I honestly don't think the league will do that. It's far more likely that a Giannis or an Embiid, this very well could be sort of an Embiid sort of MVP year.
Right.
You just gave it to Jokic. You gave it to Giannis already.
It might be.
It could be time for it could be your time. It could be your time to get one. Depending on where the Nets fall. KD is always still in the running, depending on what kind of finish they have. But this smells like it might be an Embiid sort of year. Not to say he deserves it more than anybody else, but it just might be his turn. Because it happens that way sometimes.
To piggyback on your point, there are no MVPs without winning like Player of the Month.
Right.
And Joel Embiid just won Player of the Month for the first time, but for the Eastern Conference. So, to piggyback on your point, now he's got all the requisite, and I'm pretty sure.
But the team is still performing at a high level without what some people consider an all-star player. I mean,
what I've been impressed with about my team is we've been a little bit better than just good. I can't say very good, but a little bit better than just good without Ben. And we've been serviceable without Embiid. Now, with Embiid, it wasn't back, knee, foot, whatever. It was COVID. So people look at that different. You know what I'm saying? People look at that different. So to piggyback on your point, he may be a front runner if he keeps continuing to ball like this and the Sixers keep winning. Because they're looking, just with him just sitting out for the COVID, it's the COVID. Last year, when he probably could have won it if he didn't sit out with back knee issues.
yes.
That was a different scenario, different situation. This year, just the COVID and maybe a couple games load management. And their team is maybe number 3 because we're bunched in. We're bunched in with a couple people. And with a healthy Embiid, I don't see how we can't be the number 2. It's not number 1 seed. It'd be hard to catch the Nets. But
you gotta catch the Bulls, Nets, and the Bucks. Right now they're 4. They're 4, right?
We got the Bulls number. We are 3-0.
Well, you can have their number, but you can't play them 82 games. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully
we gotta play them. 4 out of 7.
No. I mean, I'm just saying when it comes to that race for, that final playoff. I mean, that number 1 seed. They got the best record in the East.
Yeah.
So you can have their number. You know what I mean? You can have that, but if they're the number 1 seed in the East and this guy's still performing at that level, then he has a legitimate shot at that.
And if I ain't say it, shout out DeMar DeRozan. He just hit 2 crazy buzzer beaters.
Now there's buzzer beaters and there's buzzer, because some buzzer beaters are you tied and there's no pressure. But when you down, that's a buzzer. That's a clutch buzzer beater.
Yo, I'm
not.
And people seem to think that, man, he's a mid-range guy. I fuck with DeMar DeRozan so heavy.
It looks like a different guy.
I can't remember a year that he hasn't averaged 20. He just keeps putting up 20 somehow. Put it that way. And that's what I do. 20 somehow. And people say, what you mean? He went to several conference championships in Toronto.
The footwork and the skill work, man, just
it's
level
real
right now.
It's real.
The things I'm seeing him do, man, he's definitely taking a huge leap in terms of his game. His confidence right now is through the roof, which is crazy, man. His confidence is through the roof. Through the roof right now. Shout out to that guy.
Which it should be.
Shout out to that guy, man.
Which it should be. I've always been a DeMar DeRozan fan. I have been. Fuck threes. Get buckets. I don't give a fuck how you get them. Get buckets. He's always been a bucket getter.
Yeah, he's definitely a bucket getter. He's a walking bucket. Let's get to the NFL action, bro. Before we start, man, rest in peace to the incomparable John Madden. The voice of an era in a lot of our childhoods. That voice, man, and his creativity in the booth. Boom. There's certain. I'm gonna say Mount Rushmore of voices. For me, would probably be John Madden, Chris Berman, Keith Jackson,
really big game in Lincoln, Nebraska,
and my man. I'm gonna go with my man because I love when this dude does basketball, man. I'm gonna go Hubie, man. I love Hubie.
Yo,
I love Hubie, man.
Now, don't get it fucked up. I'm a Dick Vitale guy. But if you take me back to early
I know where you're going.
early basketball, Hubie Brown would have commercials on Channel 9, which is WGN, the New York channel.
Dickie V was more of a character. Where
Dickie V's more of a character. But
I personally liked Dick Stockton and Raftery more than
don't get it fucked up. I'm a Brett Musburger fan too.
Brett Musburger's big. Musburger is big. I'm gonna tell you who my man is.
Here comes the Crimson Tide of Alabama.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. He's probably under Keith Jackson as far as the college broadcast goes.
Keith is my guy.
Keith might be.
I was a Nebraska guy, and it seemed like he was doing. Now I'm doing all the fucking big Nebraska games. Oklahoma, Texas. I'm there.
Yeah.
What? Really the
Whoa,
game?
Nelly.
Oh man, you gave. Whoa, Nelly. Woo!
You're in the big house. Michigan and Ohio State for the Big Ten championship.
What? The big house? When it came to college football, Keith Jackson is that dude.
I'm gonna tell you who my man is, though. I'm gonna tell you who my man is now for the college basketball.
Who's that?
He loses his mind, man. What's my man's name? Oh God.
A guy.
Oh man.
Fox fucks with him on college football, basketball, all kind of shit. Gus Johnson.
Gus Johnson. That's what I'm talking about.
Yo!
Gus Johnson makes you feel like if the guy doesn't make the shot, the world is going to implode. Gus Johnson loses his mind in the broadcast.
Gus Johnson. God.
Gus Johnson is right on that outside level.
Right, he's right
With another 10 years of what he's doing, I'm gonna put him. I might have to make room. But yeah, shout out to Johnny Madden, man. For everybody who's ever picked up a video controller, man, stick, in the 90s, man, 2000s, that John Madden game is a staple in our lives, man. That Madden actually taught guys a lot about football.
You never lied.
Period. I mean, a lot of the nuances of football. That game is a staple in terms of little boys, and a lot of the time we spent in front of that TV playing that game, man. That Madden is a staple. So shout out to the
and what Madden did that I know we can all appreciate. Madden said, no, I'm going to camps, I'm going to the coaches, I'm going to the players to actually get this the realest that I can make.
And it was the realest.
We ventured to, it didn't matter what the game was or what the graphics was or gameplay was. The realest games is what we was playing. And John Madden said, nope. Regardless of what people say, it might be a dumbed down name or whatever, but those are plays that people run every fucking Sunday that you run on Madden on a random Thursday night. They run the proper call, the proper audibles, the proper defensive audibles and all that. If you can get your hand quick enough, John Madden got you right. I'm telling you now.
Man, the nuances of the game, man.
John Madden got you right.
Shout out to the legend, man. Shout out to the legend.
The legend,
John
man.
Madden.
Salute, man. I take
Shout out
hat
to the
off.
legend.
I had to go play some Madden Saturday night with the brothers.
Certain voices stick in your head, man, as an adolescent, man.
You make a block here. Yeah. You make a block here.
The original telestrator.
God.
Watching him and Pat Summerall on TV called games, man, was just magical. Because you felt like you were on the field, in the game.
What? I see somebody say, they said, hold on. People don't remember that the football games was coming on NBC and CBS.
Yeah.
But John Madden was such a fucking icon 30 some odd years ago. Fox said, you know what? We need some credibility. Oh, we need Madden and Summerall. Summerall said, I'm going to stick around for a year or two, but I'm out just because I'm out. Madden said, "I got you." And now I can't even watch stuff. I can't watch.
I don't. I'd rather not watch CBS. I gotta watch Fox.
Fox.
Yeah.
Fox. That started with
NBC
John Madden,
and CBS. Because actually the NFC games was on CBS. AFC games were always on NBC.
Right. They have a Dan Fouts look.
They were always
no
on
disrespect to Dan Fouts, but you ain't John Madden. You ain't Madden, bro.
Dan Fouts was good. He was good.
He still is good.
He was good. Shit, you gotta remember, they had the juice on TV for a minute. Man. But yeah, once again, shout out to John Madden, the legend. The legend passed away, man, and that game will live on forever, no matter what. That game lives on forever. That game is never going anywhere.
He's a legend 3 different ways in football.
Yeah, because what's lost is his coaching. I mean, the dude has the winningest percentage ever. Dude won 70% of his games.
For people in the 70s, they say, nah, John Madden is the reason why I'm a Raiders fan now. Because, with the snake, just the Raiders' whole look, the whole feel, I'm a Raiders fan now because of John Madden.
70% of your football games, bro?
He was an awesome coach. Then fast forward to his telestrator. Boom! Brett Favre. You feel what I'm saying? Brett Favre.
And you get this kick out here. Boom! You can drive a Mack truck.
He was the fucking man. He was the top of the totem pole, elite. Every motherfucking big game, it's got to be John Madden or it's not going to be a big game. And then, probably, and you ain't got to argue me down, probably the most significant contribution was the Madden football game. I mean, all of those
that's going to go on for generations, bro.
All of those were very heavy and significant contributions. But
that's
I'm saying maybe,
that's a generational game.
Exactly.
It's a generational game.
It's Madden. It's no other game that sports game is. I gotta get this every year. It comes out.
Live had a run. It had a good run. How long was Live's run? Because they was around the same time almost. Live had a run. NBA Live had a nice little run. But yeah, there's no game with that sort of longevity that Madden at all. Yeah, at all, man. So shout out to the legend. You got some fire nice performances, bro, for the past week?
Oh, yo. I got a very fire ice performance and a very ice ball performance. I want to give a fire performance to my guy. I think he probably still is the MVP, but they probably won't give it to him. That's Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray goes into Jerry World, beats him up without his number 1 all elite top of the totem pole.
Did you hear the rhetoric that he was spitting on?
I love it. If you can back it up, I love it.
Buddy undefeated in the building.
I was going to say, he probably about 8-9-0.
Undefeated in the building.
In this building. Man, please.
For real.
You probably better play me in Arizona than in this building. So that was a heavy reason why I said, that's a fire performance. I don't lose in Texas, bro. I'm from Texas. What the hell is you on your mind? Come on, man.
Dude is real, man. Dude is real. My fire performance for the weekend, man, I gotta say, goes to that kid, man. The Who They Nation, man. That the trigger guy,
Joseph?
Yeah, man, he's something else right now, man.
Joey B.
Yeah.
And we ain't talking about the president.
Man,
the other guy.
Joey B cracking Stogie when he get in the locker room. Man, Joey B is the real deal, man. It goes to show, man.
And shout out Ed Stevenson and Shannon Woodward.
Listen, Ro Burton is with Who That Nation.
Ro Burton too.
It's funny, man, because you got different philosophies on how you build a team. You know, and there's no blueprint. But I will say this: you got an opportunity to get a guy, you go get him. Because Cincinnati did not have everything in place when they drafted that guy. But what I will say about when you get a guy like that, it makes everything else a whole lot better. All of a sudden, You know, with the quick release, your offensive line gets better. They don't have to block as much. You know what I mean? That he gets that ball out of there. His ability to dissect the defense pre-snap makes your offensive line better. It's almost like having a coach on the field because now he has that freedom to do what he can do at the line. So now none of your blitz packages work because he's dissecting you. He knows where every single quick read is. He knows the adjustments to make.
2 years
and
in?
not only that, 2 years in, bro. This is a team that did not have everything in place. Did not have everything in place. But the guy brought everything together because you got a situation where now, and Joe Burrow has never been a guy who's had the strongest arm, just like another guy in New England. But there's something to be said about
Winner.
Anticipatory throws.
You ain't never lied.
Just the technical part of it. The anticipatory throws, the ability to quote unquote throw a guy open. Making the consistency to make all the types of throws. You make that 10-yard out. You make that out in the cover 2. To make that corner route with the right amount of touch that doesn't require a gun, but it has to have touch. To make that throw and to make the right throw 9 out of 10 times, you're elite. Not just once in a while. That's not elite. Just because you make that throw every once in a while, you're not. And you don't have to have the greatest arm. Now, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers. That's a different level. We're talking about God level quarterback.
Yes,
that's God level quarterback. He has the cerebral ability and the arm talent. When I say arm talent, I say there's three components to arm talent: release, velocity, and strength. Quick release, velocity to get the ball there rapidly, and the gun to cover yardage. And not only that, the X factor, throwing from different launch points and different angles when your feet aren't set. When the defense flushes you out to the right, those are things that only he can do and Patty Mahomes can do. And to a degree, Kyler Murray is one of those guys too. Because as small as that dude is, man, that dude has a cannon for an arm.
Yes, he does.
A cannon for an arm. Now with Joey Burrow, he may not have a cannon for an arm, but that arm, is finely tuned, bro. Mm-hmm. That arm is finely tuned. He can make a back shoulder throw. And the timing with that and the trust that he has in his receivers, 10 out of 10 times, you're not picking him off.
Right.
So, if you got the opportunity to get a guy, go get him, man. Regardless of what the hell is on your team, go get him. This is year 2 for the Bengals, man. They're looking like a serious contender because they're super explosive.
Joey Burrow got them looking. See, I've been put onto a phrase. I'm like, I understand that. It's called force multiply. I don't think that as good as Jamar Chase is, does he do this well without Joe Burrow?
I don't know.
Matter of fact, he may do that good, but does T. Higgins and Taj Boyd and C.J. Uzomah do this good?
It's starting to be something that LSU water too, because that kid in Minnesota is pretty phenomenal himself. So
shout out to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, starting something
they laughed. They laughed when the Eagles passed them. They laughed. Ha 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 ha. They laughed when the Eagles passed them.
Why does the Vikings seem to have this uncanny ability to just pluck? Because Adam Thielen is remarkable still.
Dog. If you peep it, they've beaten the Eagles every time.
It's crazy.
When they got Randy Moss, the Eagles picked Mike.
I mean, hindsight is 2020 though. Now let's also put that out there. That hindsight is 2020.
Yes, it
because
is.
what Mike Mamula did is what a lot of guys do, and they have their workout warrior, and they get in a camp and they destroy the camp, and the physical numbers go off the charts. So I don't think they made the wrong pick. Now, if we're talking hindsight wise, yeah, absolutely.
Now,
absolutely,
they had the chance to get Warren Sapp and Randy Moss. This is one of the reasons why one of the few daggers. I'm like, oh man, this one of the few daggers that led to my fandom not being what they feel me.
And who's your ice performance, man? Ice cold. Who's the nigga ice cold?
I can't say a nigga ice cold. I'm gonna say a team ice cold.
Who's that?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, man.
Hold on, Baltimore Ravens.
They got ice skates on trying to go uphill right now, man.
Hold on, Baltimore
They got
Ravens.
roller skates on trying to go up an icy hill.
As much
They're
as
sliding.
I love, I like a Baltimore Ravens team. I'm like, hardball, give your people a chance to win. Second of all, do you guys know that they've lost not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 games in a row? 6 games in a row.
They're sliding, definitely.
Sliding.
They are sliding.
At the beginning of the slide, they were the number 1 team in the NFC North. Now they are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
That is so tough.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
So tough. So it's like, wow. Now, mind you, yes, the MVP Lamar Jackson got hurt. You know, and that's going to put a dent in your success. But I can definitely say that all those going forward on fourths, all those going for the wins, you know, going for the 2 and not the 1, they hurt your team and not helped your team. Hardball, I generally like what the fuck just happened with the Ravens. 8-3, so now you went 8-7, 8-8.
It's not good.
Wow.
Not good at all. Not good at all.
Wow.
It's not good at all. Yeah, not good at all. Not good at all.
Wow.
That's a peculiar plummet.
And I was asking for my Ravens fans, I said, please get that off that bridge. You know what I'm saying? I can understand how shit got y'all fucked up. Because the Ravens like, these are all winnable games. What happened? You know what I'm saying? Now y'all over there, you up on the bridge and you sitting next to a Minnesota Vikings fan. What the fuck is going on around here? You know, so I'm like, this is real. Like, ow, what the fuck just happened to our season? We didn't have to lose all those games. Wow, we just lost 6 in a row. Wow.
I'm gonna give you an ice cold performance, man. Baker Mayfield. I'm not sure how much more he's got in Cleveland.
His days are numbered.
Are they in the low digits or like? Did they draft a quarterback this coming off season?
I would say that Baker Mayfield's numbers are his digits are numbered in the low 3 digits. And I'm talking about.
Well, answer me this question: Do they
Yeah,
draft a quarterback this offseason?
It's possible because it's not a draft that's bereft of quarterback talent.
Well, what they would consider generational quarterbacks.
Right.
There's some quarterback talent out there, and what always happens is when you hear this talk, you get into the combine, and then 1 or 2 guys start to wow you. They make certain throws and they wow you. Just like
Wouldn't that be the same thing as Baker Mayfield? Proceed.
Well, but Baker had the prerequisite pedigree though. So whether he did it in the combine or not, he was a known commodity in terms of what he was going to be.
True.
You know what I mean?
But hindsight being what it is,
he's had.
I can see Kenny Pickett being just as successful as Baker Mayfield.
Certain quarterbacks are situational quarterbacks, and certain quarterbacks are, regardless of the situation, they are the guys that make the system go. Sometimes the system makes the quarterback. Sometimes the guy makes the system.
Thank you.
So,
force multipliers.
So, with that being said, I know we're in the market for a quarterback, and I'll take, and it's not. And don't get me wrong, I still love Taylor. I love him. But what happened was, and you judge based off of sample sizes. I have a large sample size, and the second leap that I was looking for never happened. And the deficiencies have shown more than anything when I speak of a quarterback that's able to make the elite throws consistent. Unfortunately, he can't make the elite throws consistently when your team is ravaged. Okay, so case in point, let's look at this. Arizona's ravaged with injuries. True. You saw Kyler Murray go into Dallas and win a game without his number one guy in a hostile environment with a lot of injuries.
True. But
a different guy.
Right.
Because he's able to make elite level throws consistently. It's the consistency and making those elite level throws.
Consistency, folks.
And there's no consistency there. Gutsy, don't get me wrong. Gutsy, hard. If you're asking me, if the team loves him, absolutely. I love him. I know he's got moxie. And I definitely do want to see him as quarterback too. But yeah, we got to go get one of them guys, man. I love Matt Corral. I love Sam Howell. And I love Kenny Pickett.
Do you think that Matt Corral? So no, I can't even say do you. So you think Matt Corral ultimately in the same system, the Washington football team system, will probably be more successful than Heineke?
Physically, he's got a better arm. Much better arm. Much better arm. We're talking the arm talent is there with them three guys. So Howell, Pickett, and Corral.
You know what's funny? I look at a person like Jalen Hurts. They win. You don't put him in too many bad positions as he played against the Giants.
He got a bigger arm too,
but it's not the biggest, or it's not big enough to me. You know what I'm saying? I've seen no red zone like, oh man, I'm in the Eagles market. Wow. I've seen, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I've seen a lot of Taylor Heineke, and I've seen a lot of Jalen Hurts, and I'm like, they're not too far from each other.
You know what the difference is?
Circumstance.
I'm gonna tell you. No, I don't even think it's circumstance. I just think it's.
I say circumstance.
I think one is just physically more gifted than the other. Jalen Hurts is just more physically gifted than Taylor Heineke.
With the feet part.
Nah, with the arm too. With the arm too. I think he's more gifted with the arm. He may not, put it this way, from a cerebral standpoint, there may be some limitations there, but the arm strength first, if you have the arm strength, that can get you a lot of places.
Yeah.
That can get you a lot of places.
And that's the thing I'm saying. I think Tyler Heineke has better arm strength.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Absolutely the decision making might be different.
Absolutely not. The problem is that his arm strength is this, and he's not. He doesn't have an elite arm in terms of he can't make all the throws. He lacks touch. I can understand that. He lacks touch, and he lacks arm strength. He can gun a ball, 15, 20 yards, but I'm talking about certain quarterbacks, man. They know that the pressure's coming, and they step into the pocket to get that throw off, and it's a dart downfield. It gets there. When you watch Aaron Rodgers, man, the ball jumps off his hands, bro. It jumps off his. When you watch Justin Herbert, the ball jumps off his hands. When you watch Joe Burrow, the ball jumps off his hands. When you watch Taylor Heineke, it floats off his hands.
It does.
It floats.
It might get a little bit further down, but it's not a.
And the velocity is not there. It takes a little bit more time.
You're right.
That's fair. And even for a small guy, Russell Wilson.
He'll launch that motherfucker.
And you know the beauty about Russell Wilson throws balloon balls, but they are deep and they fall and they drop. The bottom drops out of them. Like they always drop out of the sky, like in a downward trajectory. It's weird. Right. He's got the weirdest deep balls I've ever seen in my life.
He's got a great, awesome deep ball. I've never seen Kenny Stabler, but he's got a. Russell Wilson has an awesome deep ball.
And in terms of his ability to make anticipatory throws and throw receivers open, he has that. So when he lacks in prototypical size, he does all the other things at an elite, exceptional level. Now that I have the sample size for Taylor, there are plays that could have been made that he just couldn't make.
True.
Couldn't make.
True.
Couldn't make.
You got to argue me down over that.
Can you throw a ball? Can you throw that
40-yard rope
to over the linebacker in front of the safety to that tight end, and the linebacker is playing zone coverage 15 yards down the field, 15, 20 yards down the field?
He can't do it.
You can't do that. He needs big windows.
Yeah, he can't do it.
The good ones don't need big windows. They just need cracks. He needs bigger windows. And not only that, some quarterbacks, and pay attention to it. Some quarterbacks are quarterbacks that can only throw to guys when they see the numbers.
Cam Newton.
You can only throw to guys when they see the numbers. He's one of those guys where the receivers got to run the full route, and they need separation. Yeah, they need.
Now I'm open.
Yeah,
see my numbers, hands, face mask, everything.
And then a lot of times what happens with those quarterbacks is they make that throw, and now you got a receiver with elite speed or closing speed, which the majority of them have, able to make a play on the ball.
True.
So I have the sample size.
More than elite quarterbacks. So the sample size.
The sample size now I'm comfortable in saying no. I'm not saying move on from him, because I definitely want him on my team, because you never know what happens with your quarterback. And I know he can come in and win some games, because at the end of the day, he has won NFL games as a starter in this league against tough teams.
Yes.
So with that being said, it's not to say he can't win in the NFL, but unfortunately, you need a guy. You need a guy. You need a guy.
Unless you have all the requisite pieces.
Unless you literally have just a stacked lineup.
And to be fair, they've been a mash unit.
And it's been a lot of times where he could have made plays. And then you got, and to his credit, I will say that having key injuries to safety blanket, J.D. McKissick not being there and Logan Thomas not being there, those are safety blankets.
Right.
But with that being said, still, you have to be able to make the throws on a more consistent basis, man. And just has not been able to do it, man. Gutsy, yes, but unfortunately, can't make enough of the great throws consistently. And that's what it boils down to. For me, that's what it boils down to.
Shoot, you might be right as rain on that, bro.
Oh, Fresh, I know what I meant to tell you. We didn't go with my boy's album, bro. We got to switch gears again. My boy just dropped the album, y'all.
Hold on. Now, go ahead. Talk to the people.
My dude just dropped the album. Christmas Eve stock and stuff out of nowhere. I'm an NAS fan, so of course the last 2 years, the last year for me, year and a half, has been pretty good. My man dropped Grammy Award-winning album, K's Disease. Then he drops Out of the Blue, Part 2, which I felt was better than Part 1. And then less than 6 months later, he back outside again, folks. And this one is crazy. This one is crazy. My observation of this one was the first 2 albums, he was kind of playing in Hit Boy's wavelength. This album, Hit Boy played on Nas' wavelength. And what you got was a project reminiscent to me of his first 3 albums. Not to say I only want him in that pocket, but it felt eerily reminiscent to that era in terms of music style and the way he's rapping on there. The way he's rapping with his bars and his wordplay is reminiscent of that particular time period. So I give Hit Boy a lot of credit because I wasn't fully sold on the Hit Boy sound. I understood where he was going with it. You know, Hit Boy's like, all right, now I got you. You play passenger in the car, I'm going to drive the car. This one was purely Hit Boy saying, you know what? I'm going to give you the GPS. You take this thing. And Hit Boy tailored the beats more towards a vintage Nas style. And what you got, man, was this beauty of an album. Once again, 9 songs strong. Out the box, speechless. Crazy. It's crazy out the box. You got nostalgic cuts that puts you in that field like Wave Gods. Shout out to ASAP. Shout out to Premier with the cuts, the vintage cuts on there. You got 4016 Bill, Meet Joe Black. Oh, this thing is just chock full of just hip hop. It felt like hip hop. It felt like hip hop, man. And this has been a banner year for me. If you're a Nas fan, this has been a banner year and a half, 2 years, man. Where the material that this dude is putting out, man, is just napalm level.
Now, what I've heard from the new Nas, I don't even know what it's called.
Magic.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought King's Disease 2 was his best effort, but I think this best is Life is Good. I'm not gonna lie, yo. I love Life is Good from Nas, but Meet Joe Black, Speechless, Primo John, yo, hold tight, man, hold skirt right there. Nas is bringing, and this is what I always used to say. I'm like, people don't understand, man. It's room for everybody to make music, not just 808 and trap music. It's room for everybody to make music. Nas is bringing the music. Okay, cool, no problem. Yeah. And Little Babies and the Babies and all them, they still shine. But yo, Nas, thank you for bringing, and you've been bringing more of. Okay, I ain't just gonna be on my 2000 shit. I ain't gonna be on my 93 shit. I got you with some 2020 something shit. I got you, and it's right, and it's pertinent, and it's relevant, and all of that. You know, so Nas, you ain't gotta argue me down, but he's probably my favorite as well. I know he's Phil favorite. I know he's Coach P favorite. But I'm just saying, like, Nas is, I ain't gonna say he's my favorite, but he was always the MC I wanted to be. So that probably makes him my favorite. You know what I'm saying? I just looked at it different. I was like, yo, all the shit Nas had his name on, I wish I had my name on. You know, so yeah, with this new shit that came out, damn, man.
The catalog just gets bigger and bigger, man. And the quality on this album, man, is just, it's short and sweet to the point, man. And you know, he's famous for that. Short and sweet to the point. No filler, you know, no throwaways, just, I'm going to give you heat on 9 cuts. I'm going to give you heat. That's what he gave us. He gave us heat on 9 cuts, man. 9 cuts. It's 9 cuts strong. I'm going to give you heat. That's what I'm going to give you. 9 joints.
I can't front that. I was telling the people, I said, this is probably better than Life is Good. And I love fucking Life is Good. You know what I'm saying? I love
Life is, like, I'm gonna say it is because the duration of Life is Good was a bit long. I'm not a fan of the super long album. For me, 10 to 13 is a good album for me.
Okay.
10 to 13 cuts is a good album for me because honestly, an artist can sound monotonous to me. 10 to 13 is good to me. Once you start getting at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, it's like
trying to sell double out.
Man, good Lord, son.
Unless
it kind of loses, the album loses focus sometimes. Unless you're that creative and you can make a cohesive album out of 17, 18, 19, 20 songs. Not many guys can do it.
Not many. Or groups.
Yeah, not many guys can do it, man. But, you know, it takes a special guy to make a cohesive 20 album song. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going, because the artist then starts to get into his personal favorite and his personal lane that may not necessarily jive.
Right.
He may take some chances. You know, I don't mind an artist taking chances, but if you try to create a classic album, then some of the chances might fall very flat.
Right about that.
When you 9-13 in, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the right mixture of that boom bap, that introspective, that personal walk, and then that creativity. Once you start to go 19, 20 songs, man, I think you kind of lose some of that. So the album kind of loses steam. It loses steam a little bit. That's to me. The album kind of loses steam. So this is a quick quality listen, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, with Illmatic, it was a short album, but it got to the point, and there was no throwaway, no filler, no nothing. It got to the point. It got right to it.
It's Illmatic.
It got to it. And like I said, this is probably his. He was probably feeling that way, and you can kind of tell on the album that he was feeling Illmatic. He was feeling Illmatic with some of these tracks that hit big put out there. He was feeling Illmatic. I could tell him how he was rapping, how the album was put together. He was feeling that vibe, man. He took a walk. He took a walk down that lane, man, and delivered on this one.
A lot of people say your first album is hard to top because that's your whole life experience up until that point.
He actually said that. He said that. He said, that's my whole life on one album up until that point. So it's hard to top that because now, at that point, you're only dealing with, well, let me not say you're only, but for the most part, you're talking new experiences, you know what I mean, that are playing out right then and there, which most people already see. Your first album, nobody knows you. So nobody knows your story or anything. Your second album, people know you now, people watching you. A lot of times as a celebrity, your life is already going to play out, especially now in the social media, so there's nothing really new. And we're only talking a lot of times at most with your hot artists. If your first album is hot, the expectation is within a year you drop again.
Exactly.
So we're only talking a year experiences from that first album. You know, worst case scenario, 2 years. And by then we know the lifespan. You know, rap's got a short ear, man. The attention span is real short. So you wait 2 years, and that next guy is gonna come in and take that spot. Yeah. The next wave might be there. Especially how rap is now, the next wave might be there.
You right about that.
So you wait too long, man, it's like, the next wave might be there. So it's just interesting to see a rapper from that old school where it took guys a year to 2 years to drop. With this kind of turnaround time, man. This turn time, he turning out records, man, like he on the corner.
Right,
man.
he turned out records like he 21.
Yeah, man, it's incredible, man.
I know the nigga older than me.
He might be a year older than us.
He's older than us. He's like 2 years older than us. He's like a 73 baby.
Yeah, that's our era. So for that, to see him turn records around like that, man, is miraculous. With this kind of quality. Mm-hmm. With this kind of quality, the quantity and quality, man, is just mind-boggling, man. And hats off to my boy, man. I appreciate it. He delivered. I love it. I'm banging that thing, man, like it's crazy, man. The turn time on that thing was crazy, man. I didn't expect it. And then what I got,
wow. And did you tell him, you said King's Disease 3 is on the way?
King's Disease 3 is on the way, man.
On the way. That's what I heard.
Dude dancing in the end zone right now, man. Dancing in the end zone right now.
Sanders, Terrell Owens dancing.
Yeah, dancing in the end zone, man.
Can't front on it.
Shout out to that dude, man. And I think the climate kind of plays a part into it because now, technically, you don't have to have a big record. You can just release music now. The way these kids do it, and shout out to these kids now, man, who could just literally release projects, man, with no big record label behind them or no push. You know, they got their own following, man. They just give the music out, and it is what it is. It does what it does. The freedom that these kids have nowadays is just miraculous, man. And I think he's picked up on that and that ability to say, you know what, man? I'm in the studio, man. I'm cooking up this crack. Just let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
I'm with that.
Let it go.
I'm with that.
So he's evolved, man, with the times to say, yeah, I'm gonna give y'all this. I'm gonna give this to y'all. I'm in here with this guy. He locked in with Hit Boy too. Locked in. Locked in.
Shout out Hit Boy. Shout out Hit Boy.
He is locked in. I love this project, man. Love it. I love it. So listen, Fresh, man. These closing thoughts, man.
Man, thank y'all for walking with us. The new year, new gear. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know us, man. Thank y'all for walking with us. Shout out everybody. I ain't get to shout out. You know, B-Man is the guy for the shout outs. I try to get to everybody, but yo, love y'all. Thank y'all for walking with us, man. Thank y'all.
Once again, man, this is a thought-provoking Black culture lifestyle experience, the Fire Nice experience here. Sports, entertainment, current events. If it's out there, we talk about it, man. Once again, from East Square Cigar Lounge, 3616 Kirkwood Highway, otherwise known as home. Shout out to the big homie O. We appreciate the shout out, man. We love you,
sir.
Bro. We do love you, man.
We're looking for the shout out.
It's been a beautiful journey and partnership. We love being here, man. And with that being said, man, thank you for walking with us. We appreciate it, man. Much love from the guys, man. We'll be back next week. That your boy up. We out.
What?